on to the next paper to be presented by our good friend Professor Dilipkumar Mohanta. He was the Vice Chancellor, Kalyan University, Kolkata. He will deliver Khwaja M.A. lecture on humanism.
Namaskar. The most revered Professor S. of Bhatt, my mentor, revered Samiji, revered Patelji, General President for this session of IPC, and my co-presenters here, dignitaries of the dais, and the blossoming philosophers, the future of India. First of all, I express my gratefulness and thanks to IPC for inviting me to be here to a holy place. I consider it's a pilgrimage. For me, it's the first time my visit. And secondly, I want to correct a little bit of my friend, dear friend Pranira Silvam. I'm now Vice Chancellor. I'm the former Vice Chancellor of Kalyan University, and also very recently I completed my term as the first Vice Chancellor of Sanskrit University, Kolkata. Now, the title of my paper is Cosmic Humanism and Our Concern. The paper has been printed, so I need not go into details. It has 3 parts. In fact, what is called Bharatiya Manavbad, the Indic conception of humanism, I call cosmic humanism. And first I shall try to develop conceptually, being a philosopher, professional way, what is meant by this cosmic humanism. Then I have chosen the 2-tier problem that humanism is facing today. But one is environmental, another is mingling of religion with politics. So the first one I am skipping over. If I get time, then I shall address the second one. The world is cosmos and not chaos. And from this cosmic point of view, all human beings are integrally related. The essence of humanity lies in oneness. So for the sake of transcendent God, men cannot deny the reality of the world. This is a wrong understanding of Indian philosophy by some thinkers that it is life-denying. I disagree. Pilgrimage of divinity, whatever it is to see men in God and God in men. And this is the gist of cosmic humanism. In other words, all animate beings and inanimate things of the universe are integrally bound together, and this is oneness of the cosmos. So it is integral humanism. All things and beings of the cosmos are dependent on each other. Man is a distinct being because of his possession of rationality, should frankly admit that all beings and things in this cosmos are intrinsically valuable. This kind of humanism is universal in spirit and based on the value called empathy, samanubhuti. Here, one totally extends oneself to others. Seeing others suffering, we feel suffering. Beyond this, at our others' happiness, one feels happy. This is empathy. And this is different. This Indian way of understanding this Manavbad is different somehow from the Greek understanding of it. Now, how do the Greeks conceive it? We see in the Encyclopedia of Religion and Ethics. The Greeks, who dominated the whole Western civilization in the stipulated boundary of humanism, could not extend it to the whole of humanity. It was limited to Greeks only, and slaves and other non-Greeks were outside of the concern of that humanism, not in the same sense they use. That humanism considered sympathy as the main value, where we feel with others, but do not enter into any relation to that total of ideas, impulses, feelings and desires, which which is in mind. But unlike this, Bharatiya Manavbad, the Indic conception of humanism, is all-inclusive and it covers the entire humanity, considering the universals and unconditional character. I prefer to call it cosmic humanism. Humanity has two-tier problem today. The entire humanity has been facing devastating problem arising due to overexploitation of nature by human greed and the communal riots of killing human beings and destruction of human civilization due to political misuse of institutional religion. I'm skipping over the environmental part and I'm directly coming to my address for concerning the religion. Before this, let me explain in details how this Indic Manavbad, the cosmic humanism, proposes the problem. Man is full of possibilities and it is the duty of fellow human being to facilitate the growth and fulfillment of possibilities of other fellow human beings. The true nature of human being binds others by love and not by hatred. The cosmic process is an ongoing movement. There is no room for wait or halt. There is the possibility of its being tuned or twisted in a way that leads to disaster. Only movement in the right direction can yield progress. But this presupposes freedom to choose the right path with the right direction to fulfill the cosmic mission. And in philosophical reflections, and means and modalities are to be well connected. It is said that the entire cosmic existence is a corporate coexistence, and human progress coincides with cosmic progress as well. As Tagore conceived, whatever I can offer to God, I offer to men. God I give whatever I can give to men. I make God man and man God. Devotare priya kori priyare devata. This belief inspires us to search for humanity in and through finite forms. The true nature of man is his universality. It is Vishwabhava, by realizing which human being overcomes all narrowness. Bhumaiva shukam nalpi shukamasti. Today, we need the role of religion as the meeting of humanity. The ultimate experience of humanity need not be confined to religious expressions only. Science, philosophy, literature, aesthetic sensibility, rashanubhuti, all could be phases of humanism. A sense of universality characterizes humanism, and for this it claims the ultimate realization of God in man and man in God. It finds man in the universe and universe in man. Man is ever advancing towards all embracing cosmic dharma. Love is one of the true expressions of humanity. Therefore, nonviolence brings manhood to godhood. Now, let me turn over to the communal conflicts. Now, let us turn to one of the main issues, the issue of communal conflict centering on institutional religion and how we can address this problem from the point of view of cosmic humanism I have tried to develop. It is undeniable that religious tolerance in principle is a necessary condition for peace today. No society can be happy without this. The existence of a multitude of ways to know God should be guaranteed in every country. The cardinal principle of a happy society is grounded in humanistic values. There is no greater truth than humanity. Shobar upore manush sotto tahar upore nai, said a poet of Bengal, Chandidas. No manusat paru taram hikinchid, said in the Mahabharata. We should learn today the language of humanism as to speak with others instead of speaking about others. And this should come from a genuine interest in involvement, engagement, and participation with others, along with our admission of the fact of difference with others. There are many paths to God, truth, and perfection. Though this refer to one, in today's world, it is reasonable to recommend patience and interfaith and intercultural understanding through dialogue. Let us reread our philosophical heritage to realize the always open, free, and potentially creative humanistic mind to reshape ourselves in the light of the vision which enables us to see truth in others' views, in others' ways of living, with simultaneity of existence. One-sided imposition of majority values upon minority or appeasement may lead to an identity crisis and creates an atmosphere of one-dimensional identity in the form of orthodoxy. It begets violence. So values like love, empathy, and cooperation, etc., are important for human unity today. This interpretation has the implication of transcending various commonly known worldviews in the context of religion and culture. It strengthens the application of the principle of live and let live. This type of humanistic understanding would initiate, maybe slowly, a common spiritual journey on a deep spiritual level of our beinghood. So we cannot deny the importance of inquisitiveness, Catholicity of mind, and the implicit conviction that truth has ulterior expressions in the form of alternative discourses. Both formal and informal systems of public education should have scope for knowing other cultures, other religions. We should work for the collective good and give up the belief that our faith is more genuine and true than that of others. Today, almost everywhere in the world, animosity among various divisive religious groups are on the increase. Incited by politicians and media, the increasing manifestation of violence, as it were, has exceeded all limits. And the most destructive outcome of such animosity is war. Nevertheless, through counter-violence, we cannot abolish violence. War is opposed to all three virtues of human being: spirituality, freedom, and culture. Though postmodernism is the practical manifestation of globalization, it is burdened with its failure to drive the human race to a more developed and peaceful world. Despite the ability of better technology at our disposal, postmodernism, by its deceptive process of deconstruction, has stirred the foundation of Western civilization. Thoughts of religious fundamentalism are percolating through holes of this weakness and are making the Western world restless. Religious fundamentalists are growing stronger. The fundamentalists who are using religion do not believe in values like equality, tolerance, or diversity. On the contrary, they seek to organize social life on the strength of religious dogmas. Neither the fundamentalists nor the power-mongering political institutions believe in democracy, which is based on values like freedom and open-mindedness. True democratic culture rests on debate, discussion, and dissent, which in Indian philosophical tradition is called Panditavada. They forcefully disapprove of different indigenous histories. Failure to catch the base tone of diversity leads life in a state of unthinkable danger. Future logic, my friend, seldom remains exclusively programmed. New scenarios arise before us. We require dealing with them based on their own character. The fundamentalists deal with them in an opposite manner. They seek to view everything from a particular standpoint, ostensibly pouring in a mold commensurate with their blind and mindset. They are narrow, stubborn, and one-eyed. They misused politics and institutional religion as a means of capturing power. They consider dogmatic belief to be the best. They are blind, uncritical, and dogmatic. When politics overshadows or dominates our true spirituality in the domain of religion, we see the reign of terror everywhere. But our proposed form of humanism, the Indic version of humanism, Sarvamanav-Bad, will take us free from our total and blind obedience to scriptures. Purana Mityeva na sadhu sarvam. It is undeniable that the greatest bondage is a slavery of thought, and therefore, for our betterment, we are to enjoy freedom of ideas. Critical examination must precede an acceptance or rejection. Pariksha madvacha grajjam bhikshave natu gauravad, said Buddha. Humanism based on such ideals would welcome free thinking and a sense of unfinalizability, as said in the Rig Veda, Anubhadra krautavo yantu vishataha, let noble thoughts come to us from different directions. Or in Tagore's words, shesh nahi re, shesh kotha ke bolve. This is openness, because these are important for the development of the human science, philosophy, and culture today. In a society based on cosmic humanism, each can realize himself only by helping others as a whole to realize themselves. Others can realize them by helping each individual to realize himself. It draws our attention to protecting humanity from the danger of communalism, bigotry, and many other bloody happenings in the name of religion. We are to see that religion teaches love and not hatred. The media has a great and positive role to play today for the greater interest of humanity. A happy society based on moral values of cosmic humanism counts cooperation as an essential value and the first principle of humanity. Its power streams from the mutual complementarity, as rightly emphasized by Professor Bhatt in his inaugural address. It is based on diversity, mutual respect, and benevolence. It is the basis of constructive culture. We cannot achieve anything of importance without cooperation with others. All mankind today can be linked by cooperation in such areas as common security, crime protection, hygiene, health, environmental protection, dissemination of scientific knowledge, and setting of international ethical and legal norms. In a society based on cosmic humanistic values of cooperation and distributive justice, knowledge must be constantly updated, enriched, and modernized. Human beings are to be created the past with a sense of distancing nearness, if I am permitted to use a phraseology of Martin Heidegger, distancing nearness and avoid orthodoxy. The latter allows no change, no modifications. The dignity of human life is to be upheld as an end, not as an end in itself, not as a means. This implies that the future of humanity cannot lie in returning to the past, but in moving ahead like a flowing river with various tributaries by connecting the freshness of the present with our ancient and moral spiritual values. Understanding of the past by only the orthodox way is deadly for human race, as emphasized by Kalidasa, Purana Mityeva na sadhu sarvam, na chapi kavyam navamittavaddham, santha pariksha annatarat bhajante parapratthaneya bhajante modaha parapratthaneya buddhihi. So, as we obtain the old practice and thoughts through our tradition, we should also get a proper mix of fresh knowledge and the gift of science with values. Friends, this is all I would like to share with all of you today for this significant occasion of 92nd IPC as Khwaja M.A. lecture on humanism. Kindly excuse me. I could not present the other promised item. I think you can read it from the printed paper. Thank you so much. Thank you. Namaskar.
Thank you so much, Professor Mohanta ji, for a thought-provoking address.